Hello everyone, welcome to QuillTarot. Today's reading is about why why your ex came into your life. Why did you meet your ex? Okay. Now I'll request everyone to listen to the intro and I'll repeat it before starting the reading for any of the piles. The reason is that if you're coming here with a lot of sadness, hatred over what this person did to you, this reading is meant to release that. Okay, we are not here just going to hold on to the negative energy or the negative experience. It is valid. Okay, the way you have felt is hurt, but it's your responsibility to let go of that so that you can be the beautiful human you are as a default setting, right? The person you were before you met this person. Now, when we have such a person in our life who becomes an ex, it's usually something we have a soul contract with them, some karmic reason, because nobody meets anybody just by chance, okay? It's just in our physical mind we are not aware why this happened, but all such information are already recorded in your soul in the akashic records, and whatever karma you have to go through this life, and it's not a punishment, it's an upgrade, it's a part of your evolution. Okay, so this is the intention I've set for you, for whoever is watching this video, and I hope you will listen to this before you choose your pile for the reading. So it's just that you get an objective understanding about why you were with this person, what was the reason. And I also believe that this will help you to understand what karma is involved, what pattern caused you to be with this person, and in turn you can come out of it and attract a healthy partner or attract a loving person in your life, in case you are not already with someone like that. So this reading is meant to emancipate you, release you, yeah, free you from the pain, so that you can move forward with an objective understanding that this happened for a reason, and now you're ready for a new person, a new healthy relationship, and also you do not repeat the same pattern with another person, the same karma. Okay, that is also important, that we do not repeat the same karmic pattern with another person. We can be hopeful that this next person who will be in our life will make us happy, but if you still have the subconscious pattern of uh, patterns of behavior that sabotage a connection, the next relationship will not be any better. So it's good to know what patterns you have, okay, which might come up in this reading, okay, or I might do a separate video later. Yeah, that's also a good idea, like what is blocking your romantic life, the patterns. For this reading, we are going to look into a specific relationship with an ex partner to understand why this person was in your life. Okay, those who have listened to my intro, thank you so much. I'm going to repeat this as a reminder before I begin every pile. Also, now I'll move on to you guys, helping you guys choose your pile, choose your group. I have three cards here. These are the chalky cards I collected as a kid. So yeah, there are three cards for three groups. First group is this card, this green Dexter and Mandrake yelling match card. Okay. Group 2 is another mission, Powerpuff Girls card. And group 3 is Where's Betty? This is Barney from the Flintstones. Okay, this is group 3. So pause the video, choose your group, and I'm going to start the reading with group 1. Hello, group 1. Whoever chose the yelling match group card, sorry, we are going to see why you met your ex partner in this lifetime. Before I begin your reading, I'm going to request you to listen to the intro so that you understand what you expect from this reading, because this is not a reading to encourage negativity. Okay, since we are looking into a connection with an ex partner. Okay, so please, it's a request that you listen to the intro. There will be a timestamp below, and then you can come back to your group and see what comes in your reading. Before I draw in cards, I'm going to tell you whatever I'm able to channel from your option. First of all, I see that you see the numbers here on the scores, they have been overwritten. Okay, I think I scribbled them as a kid. And the way Dexter and Mandrake are facing each other, there are pictures of them, in behind, screaming. It's like this relationship was a lot of involved a lot of verbal conflict. It was a lot about who is right in this connection. There was always about proving who is the right person, and there was never getting into the shoes of the other person to understand the other person's point of view. It was literally always a yelling match, an ego based match, like whose ego is gonna win. Okay, you see the spotlight. I mean, I'm noticing so much about this card I've never done before, and this is the magic of tarot. The energies are channeled so beautifully. It just guides me as a reader to point out specific things that are relevant to your reading. You see the spotlight is on them shouting. For you, group one, this relationship is about a lot of sharp words, exchanging of sharp words. Could be also abuse, criticism, hurting each other, saying mean things to each other. Okay, that is the highlight of this relationship. It was always about proving who is right and being mean to one another. And with the green here, it feels like the heart was always left out. Heart to heart connection, communication, heart to heart connection was either secondary or left out completely. So it was only about head to head communication, which always would end up in conflict, always end up with disagreements, and how the other person is not meeting the expectation. And for many of you over here, Dexter's Laboratory, if you have watched Dexter's Laboratory, Dexter's lab is a hidden lab, right? In his inside his room behind the bookshelf. For some of you, it could also be domestic violence. Okay, something that was only you knew as a partner. Maybe you faced domestic violence. You were very mistreated in this relationship. That is, outside in public, people had no clue what was happening. Maybe you got bruised. Yeah, physical violence was also there. I'm getting a sense here. So this happened behind walls, behind closed doors, and some of you, this could have been a narcissistic partner as well. Okay, a very dominating, abusive, narcissistic partner who made sure that you always remain small under their domination, under their authority. Okay, so if this resonates at least half, at least 50%, let's see why this person was in your life. Okay, group one. Okay, I have the Keen Krantz deck here and the Light Seers deck. I want to use both of them for this reading. Let's see. Okay, why did group one meet their ex partner in this lifetime? Four of Swords. Why did group 1 meet their ex-partner in this lifetime? Why did they meet them? I'm getting the answer. Nine of Pentacles, Star. Ten of Wands. Okay. What is the Four of Swords here? Knight of Pentacles. What is the Nine of Pentacles? Eight of Pentacles. I got the answer for you already, Hermit. Group 1. Two of Pentacles. Eight of Wands. Okay. Group 1. I'm gonna if you have listened to the intro, you know what is the intention of this reading. You know you have been mistreated and this relationship really wasn't great, and that is why this is an ex-partner, right? The thing is, why you met this person? It's because you never trusted yourself. I'm channeling what is the reason you met them. Now many of you could have healed this or still in the process of healing this karma or this reason why you were with this person. So yeah, first of all, group 1, you are a person with self-esteem issues. Okay, you really thought, and okay, yeah, it's like you're a person who has a lot to give, a lot to offer, and in that process, you kind of believed that the other person would naturally reciprocate without knowing that it can't be the case, without knowing that that could also be untrue. Okay, you placed everyone else, or you have a habit of believing everyone has a good heart like you do. Everyone wants to give, share, and celebrate love. But that isn't the truth. There are different kind of people. Some have more capacity to love, some have less capacity to love, some do not know how to love at all, but still they go on living their life. You, on the other hand, are a person who loves to love, but with that, there is a problem here. If you have not yet realized this, there is a people pleasing tendency. Okay, and people who suffer from being a people pleaser, being the doormat, attract this kind of abusive relationships until they understand that they need to please themselves first before they can just go outside and be ready to please and satisfy people around them. The issue is that your existence revolves around making others happy. And when you are doing that, you are forgetting your own existence as a human being and the dignity you need to have in order to exist as a human being. You cannot erase yourself in the process of helping others, providing others. So, this is a virtue. Yes, we need to be kind to others, but not at the cost of our detriment, not to our detriment, actually, not at the cost of our well being. Here, you had been sticking up with this person to your detriment. You knew things were very unstable, things were, you know, weighing so heavy on your shoulders, yet you continue staying in this situation, believing that This is how love is supposed to be. A classic uh, scenario of where people who string along with their abusers thinking it's love. Now, while this was a painful experience, while you were always believing in the happily ever after with the person you thought so close to yourself as a family member, a person with whom you will have the happy home with kids and everything rainbow sunshine. That's what you always saw, and you probably settled down with this person without dating them for long. I feel for many of you, you guys, even if you dated for a long time, you didn't scratch the surface too deep, or if something felt off, you shrugged it off as it being normal in a romantic connection because you love this person after all, and every person has some shadows, right? But what you didn't see is that this person didn't meet you at the same depth of love you were willing to share. You were ready on the first go, or on the first, um, you know, on the first audition. Like in a hiring process, you have the interview, then the internal tests, 2 3 4 processes, then a candidate gets hired. But you were swept off your feet in the interview round itself, and you settled to hire the candidate, believing that they are as good as a good hearted person as you are, because you yourself are ready to give yourself away and everything, because that's what people do in love. But that's you, group one. You have a good heart. You have to understand that there are different kinds of people, and not everyone has the same capacity to be so charitable with love as you have been with this person. And since you didn't scratch the surface much, it was not long before you started to realize that this is not what comfortable love should feel like. Yet you kept denying the fact that it's getting painful, and you tried to make things work here. You had a lot of patience here. I can see that. You passed your judgment on this person very quick about being a good partner, a good romantic partner, without uh, testing them for some time before you can pass on a judgment. I see you're the kind of person who falls in love with the first date, who imagines a family and marriage the moment you see a person checking you out. And it's okay, group one. It's just you have a beautiful heart. You want to make people your own. But in this world, like I've said it before, there are different kinds of people, and you should allow only those who match your ability to give. Now, this is why you met this person. Now, what are the further reasons of um, attracting this person? All this while you were with this person, your focus in making this relationship work and being with this person was purely dependent on how happy this person was with you. Okay, how their happiness is what kept the relationship float, not yours. You didn't care whether you were happy, you were hurting, you were bleeding, metaphorically or literally, in this connection, as long as your partner was feeling happy, satisfied. It cannot be a relationship between two people when it is dependent on the happiness of only one. So, why you came into union with this person is because, firstly, you had to find peace and safety within yourself. Remember, we talked about not having enough self esteem. And when we don't have enough self esteem, we usually look for an anchor, a source of validation, and a romantic partner is a great energy in that case to give you that comfort. But in that comfort, you forget that you also have the power to give the same sense of safety and love. So, right now, after you have separated with this person, you are experiencing uh, this comfort, this relief. You are understanding the value of being alone and also how much peaceful it is to be on your own rather than being with a person who makes you uncomfortable every day, because that's not love, that's discrimination, that's unfair injustice. You had to become comfortable with yourself. There was a lot of work to do with the 8 of Pentacles and 9 of Pentacles to understand that you can exist solo. I think for group 1, you guys are single right now with the Hermit, 9 of Pentacles energy. You are had to learn that you have to relish your singlehood, and for that the work that was needed, it came from this relationship. Okay, it came from the experience with this partner who made you understand that you don't really need a partner to celebrate your happiness and feel loved. There is peace when you are alone. There is peace and happiness and contentment in being with yourself. And when you discover that being alone is no longer about being lonely, it is about being with yourself. And when you learn to be happy with yourself, you'll never settle for a person who takes away from that peace. Rather, you will choose someone who adds to it. And this was your previous self who didn't know this. And this person really made you realize what this peace means when you are alone and by yourself. For many of you, after this separation, you guys feel drained, which is very obvious. Also, there could be financial difficulties. You could have moved out of the house with which you lived in, the house where you lived with your partner, and maybe you had financial issues with this person. Anyway, you were physically, financially drained, and right now you might be trying your best to balance this situation, but you have realized it's better alone than with a person who drains you anyway and adds to the miseries. So, with this, I I guess we get a understanding why you met this person, and understanding that group one, there is happiness, there is a feeling of embrace and love while being with yourself and not in the company of another person. Okay, and I want to draw some more cards from this deck as to why you met this person. Why did you meet your ex? Why did group 1 meet their ex? Father of Swords, Lovers, Seven of Swords, Six of Swords. Yes, I think you guys got a very rude awakening. Okay, again, the same message is coming up. You really mistook a person for who they are. They were not the lover you thought they would be. I have the Queen of Swords. See, this quarreling, and the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords. Actually, group 1, see, you have a, like I said, you have a lot of ability to love. You're that person who can love anyone very easily. You give yourself away very easily. But that's not how you make through this life. You need to know how to survive. Okay? Only when you have learned how to survive can you thrive. Survival is basic, thriving is a right. Okay? So you were completely blind to the part that you need to use your head in the connection, and you were totally smitten, and you were totally blown away with emotions to the extent that you really didn't use your scruples, your gray matter, to dig deeper before you could settle down with this person. And this was a harsh experience where this person literally betrayed you, moved away, and broke many promises. They had promised you a lot of things, but they acted exactly the opposite way. A person whom you held as your savior became your abuser. Okay, so a lot of heartbreak, only to help you become disenchanted with the idea of love you have made yourself to believe in. Okay, you have a certain idea of how love and relation should be, and that isn't true. Life has all kinds of people. This isn't to say that you will never have the kind of love you deserve. In fact, to have the kind of love you deserve, you needed this experience so that it enriches you no matter how painful it is, and gives you a reality check as to how a relationship should have a balanced dynamic, and not one person just eroding themselves away to keep the boat afloat. Okay, group 1, it is painful, but understand you deserve the love you give, and at the same time, that is important. It is important to understand that in order to receive the love you give out, you need to be pretty, you need to have a realistic and broad minded approach, accepting different kinds of people, but not giving into things that are not worth your efforts and energy. You need to let go of this illusion of a relationship of being only one way. And I see, group 1, you tried very hard on your part to keep this going because you believe there had to be a lot of sacrifice. But the sad part is you were the only one who was sacrificing. The other person didn't. Other person only took while you gave, and that is never a healthy relationship. Okay, so right now I think you are in a very healing energy. You are understanding, you are acknowledging the changes that have happened, and soon you'll be able to attract or be with a person once you have broken and healed these patterns. And it's not impossible, it might take some time, because right now I see you are in a rejuvenation mode. You are in a mode to heal what you have lost and get back into alignment before you can welcome another person. It has been an intensely transforming experience because grief, pain are extreme triggers of self transformation. So that's what you are going through. Okay, group 1. So if you like this reading, I'm going to close it here. Hit the like button. Let me know in the comments how you liked it. If you want a private reading with me, you can email me or book one via co-file link. The details are there in the description box. If you want to again see me in my next reading, do make sure to subscribe. I would love to do another reading for you guys. I do YouTube readings every now and then. If you want to see readings from me every day, follow me on Instagram and Threads where I post daily. You can find all the links in the description box. Thank you for being here, dear Group 1. I hope to see you in my next reading. Take care. My love for all of you, and All the best. Okay, bye. Hello, group 2. Whoever chose this Power of Girls card, another mission, this is your reading. And before we start your reading, I would request you to please listen to the intention behind this reading. I have mentioned in the intro. The timestamp will be given below, so you can click on it, listen to it for 2-3 minutes, and then come back and continue watching your reading. Okay, so that we are both aligned energetically about what this reading is, because this reading is not about uh, mm, you know compounding on negative experiences or just increasing the negative feeling. Okay, so the intention is set in the introduction. Please do listen to it and then come back. I'll be right here to see why you met your ex partner. Okay, okay, I hope you have listened to the intro, so let's get on with the reading. Before I draw in the cards, I would like to channel from the option you have picked here. Um, Group 2, there was for you, there was no solid commitment. This is giving me the vibes of an on and off connection where you felt like this is it, we are now together, and the next moment the other person or you feel like, nah, it's not happening, I should explore other options. Nobody made up their mind about being in a relationship. It's like up in the air, up in the clouds. What's happening? What do we want? Where do we see each other in this connection? We have been seeing each other, we know each other for some time now. Now it's time to make it exclusive, but should we do that or should we keep our options open? Also, I see that this could be you or your person or you're both believing in polyamory, not monogamous people here. So also the high possibility of having a third party in this relationship. Maybe you had friends or the other person had friend with whom they had a romantic quest going on. At the same time, they are also they're also stringing you along. So you kind of go back to your ex or you go to your best friend and say, hey, I want a relationship with you because the guy or the girl I'm with, they are now with someone else. And after a few days, you guys circle back to each other and say, nah, let's give it another try, let's be with each other. And then another person ghosts, another person gets pissed off, and you guys again, you know, go different ways. I'm getting very mixed energies when it comes to being committed. Okay, there were periods of time where you really thought, now we are going to make it, we are going to be together, and then there were weeks or months you guys didn't speak to each other. Very hot and cold energies, on and off connection. Again, this could be only one person or both of you. This could be only your partner or you not being able to make your mind up about this person. Even the card's name is another mission. It's like you guys were never focusing on each other as partners. You were always looking for another one, another person. You guys could have even tried. Okay, how do I say this so that I don't get censored? um, it's like trying threesomes or something like that. Yeah, I can't make it more explicit. So, yeah, there was a lot of experimentation going on in this connection about what do you both want. It's like you guys tried a lot of things just to figure out what you guys want, and then it never worked out. It's like you thought you were going the right way, but then this alleys came up and you were like, oh, let me try this alley, maybe it's a shortcut. Oh, let me go to this via this road, maybe I'll discover something better than if I follow the course of this main road. So it's like you never were in the same lane. Very fleeting energies, very explorer energy. You see, you look at the Powerpuff Girls here. Bubbles is looking this side, Buttercups is looking that side, Blossom is focused in the front. They are flying together, but they're they are in their own world. They have different point of views. They have different ways of looking at the villain or looking at the sky. Bubbles is probably drawing doodles in the sky while she's flying. Blossoms is like, I have to be alert. If there's a villain, I have to lead the pack. Buttercup is like, oh, it's another day. I wish I stayed home. It's so annoying. But they're flying together, but each of them has a very different approach when they are heading off. It's just like they are being kept together by a force, but they actually don't belong together. Okay, they're very different. That's what I feel. And there is a high probability of you guys having a third partner, like I said, involved both romantically and physically. Okay, so if this resonates even 50%, let's see why you met your ex partner. Why did group 2 meet their ex partner? Six of Cups, Ten of Wands, Four of Wands, Ten of Pentacles. Okay, what is the Six of Cups here? The Star. Ten of Wands is the Devil. I see, I get the answer. Four of Wands, Nine of Swords, Ten of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, Ten of Cups. Bottom deck energy is the Ten of Cups. Okay, see, group 1, as I channeled from your card, the chalky card option, you and your person, and that's why you attracted this person, both have commitment issues. When it comes to taking responsibilities and running a full-fledged relationship, it scares you out. It scares you. You think that being um with a person, being exclusive with a person is a nightmare. It takes away your freedom. Okay, this is the idea behind behind the whole thing you had with this person. Also, this person could have been a friend at first. You know them as a family friend or a even extended family. Okay, this person could have been an extended family. Um, um, someone you knew very close, and you saw an opportunity to explore with them. Now I see this was something more on having fun, more on having the superficial pleasures, even physical and sexual experimentation, than having anything solid. Because if you or your partner brought up the, who is this? I think if you brought, I think it's most likely you or your partner, take it how it is, brought up the question about, hey, are we going to get married, are we going to be committed, are we going to move in together. That's when this equation crashed. That's when this person ghosted or you, or if you have this issue, you withdrew. It was like talking of commitment, stability was always off the table. Okay, whenever such discussion came along, it was like, no, 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 that's not what we are doing here. But at the same time, there was hopes of having something with this person, because you actually I see you have friendship, like you liked this person as a human being. But when it comes to having a solid relationship, that's when the ground got shaky. Okay, for many of you this is an extended cousin. I'm getting that feeling. Ace of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. Yeah, it's just, or a distant relative of a male relative, like, no judgment here, although, but it feels like some family involvement is there. And I feel like this is a trauma response for you. Maybe you have such commitment issues because you might have some traumatic experience in your childhood, which is why you cannot trust the opposite gender or trust people in general. um, you would like to wait it out. And while you really liked this person and you wished that something really happened, your own fear kept you hooked with a person who was just mirroring your fears. Okay, there was a point where you felt like, yeah, I want to have something with this person. Okay, but since inside you were still fearful, you have those fear, this person mirrored your fears back, that no, we are going to have, keep it only casual, we will keep it only sexual and nothing else. And when you are involved with a person in this way, definitely you develop some feelings, and that's how you get trapped in a pattern, in a cycle, hot and cold. You keep staying for the physical pleasures, and then you wonder if this can be more committed, but no, it's not happening. But at the same time, you can't let go of this person, but you can't even be with them. Very confusing situation with this person group 2. I'll strongly recommend you to visit a therapist and get some trauma resolution. Okay, because for you group 2, I feel it's a bit complicated when it comes to how you um, emotionally attach with people. uh, i I don't know if you're aware about attachment styles. For you, I really think it's disorganized attachment or the fearful attachment. The good part is that all of these attachment issues can be healed into a secure attachment style. So you can get in touch with a therapist and work out, because I see some childhood trauma, some really bad issue, even abuse could have happened, that has led you like in an emotionally chaos state where you can't uh, thrive in a healthy relationship. you end up in a very tangled up mess, and then you feel hurt because that's not what you want, but you keep seeking uh, a mess over and over again because that's what you have misidentified love as. Okay, this can be completely healed. Okay, group 2, I'm gonna draw ask again and see from this deck why you met your ex. Here the sun, major childhood energies here. Group 2, as I was speaking of childhood healing, see the sun card came out, and the sun really speaks about childhood healing. Many of you know this person from your childhood. 10 of Pentacles. I have to say this, group 2. I know I'm not really being extremely straightforward because this is triggering, but this person could have been a sibling or a close family member, okay? And that's how this got really complicated for you and this person. Okay, what else here? Yeah, the Emperor came in. A male relative, okay? And sometimes, the male relatives, the people we trust most, end up as an abuser. So I'm sorry, group 2, if you had to go through this, but please remember you're not a victim in this situation, you're a survivor. Get help, and you can definitely break this pain and abuse that keeps you away from experiencing a loving connection. What is the sun here? Yes, you have childhood issues here. Group 2, I can't, I mean, the cards are so. Okay, it's the Empress, not the Emperor. Strange. Again, the Ten of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. See, group 2, I understand you can be scared of relationships, of commitment, of being trapped with one person for your life, but that's just a projection of your fear. That's not the reality. Okay? And this has something to do with releasing some childhood incident trauma over here. Also, I see some family boundaries that has shaped you in this way. I'm also sensing people of the LGBTQ spectrum in this particular group who already struggle with a sense of identity and face resistance when it comes to social acceptance. So it is difficult, but it's not impossible to come out of this. Also, fear of heal this, you need to heal this fear of commitment, okay? That disorganized attachment issue is coming up strongly. You have to really understand that a connection is not a threat. So, whether a person is an anxious attacher or an avoidant attacher, they always have a sense of fear associated with a connection, and that's why they can't experience the peace in the connection. Okay, one person is scared of getting too close, another person is scared of being left in the cold. So, and for disorganized attachers, it's a mix of both, but they have more hope in healing. Okay, so it's fine. So it's just you are being shown a mirror to the broken parts in you. Group 2, it's just that we all have broken parts, we all have shadows in us, but sometimes the universe brings about situations, um, uh, really strange life happenings we have no explanation for, that really reflect to us what we need to address, and this is what you need to address here, group 2. This is really linked to your childhood experiences. Maybe you had a bad relationship with your mother as well, and that's how this thing has panned out. So I see there was really difficulty with your family, the family you grew up in. So that's why you met your ex. The wounds had to get triggered so that once they surface, you can address them. Otherwise, we don't know what we are walking with every day. We are living our life every day with, unless we are shown what is living inside of us. Okay, group 2. So I'm going to close your reading here. If you liked this reading, please do leave a like on the like button. Leave a comment below letting me know how you liked it. Also, if you want a private reading with me, the details are given in the description box. If you want to not miss another reading with me and watch me do another reading for you, do make sure to subscribe. I do post readings from time to time, and if you want to see me post readings every day, uh, you want to benefit from that, I post readings every day on Instagram and Threads. Okay, so stay connected. I would love to do another reading for you guys. Take care. Love you all. And bye. Hello, group 3. Those of you have chosen this Flintstones card, Where's Betty? This is your reading. Before I start your reading, I would request you to please listen to the introduction to this reading, because you need to understand the intention behind this reading. And once you have done, you and I both will be aligned for this reading's energy. The reason is that this reading is not meant to fester, to continue the growth of festering emotions and to further instigate the hurt. It's more about releasing. I've mentioned it in the intro, so please do listen to it. And so it's only 2-3 minutes to listen to it so that our intentions are aligned. So, yeah, once you have listened to it, do come back and we'll get into your reading. So, group 3, those of you have chosen this Where's Betty card. First, I'm going to channel some information from your choice of option, and then I'm gonna get into the cards. Okay, okay, group 3. First thing that comes out is that you consider why you met your ex. Yeah, that's the topic. Why did you meet your ex? First of all, I find that your impression of this person is they are very dumb. Okay, you think that this is a person who really needs an emotional crutch. They are not at all self reliant. They really need you for everything. Like, they can't find their matching socks, they don't know where is the milk carton, they don't know where their glasses are. Like, they are too dependent on you, or they were. Even the question is, where's Betty? It's like they had to ask you for everything. They needed your help. They were, you were kind of man child. Yeah, could be. Yeah, a man child kind of scenario where you had to babysit a grown ass adult person. Um, Also, this person didn't give you a lot of privacy. This person has no idea about what personal boundaries mean. Like, here, Barney's knows. It's just giving me that they had to know everything about you, where you are at 7:39 p.m., where you are at 8:02, where you are at 5 o'clock. Like, they will call you up at 5:01 p.m. because you get up from your work at 5 o'clock. Like, they just won't leave you alone, won't spare you. Like, they're the kind of person who would barge into your toilet while you're on the sitting on the toilet and ask something because they need their answer right away. A very clingy, dependent, hyper dependent person. I mean, it's the opposite of hyper independence. And it's like you had to be on your toes, making sure this person was being taken care of like a baby. This person wasn't a partner, but a project who had to be maintained so that they don't fall apart, they fail to function. Okay, that's kind of a scenario. Also, this person, when it comes to the personal hygiene, you have issues. Either this person was too particular about cleanliness, and I won't call it OCD, but because OCD gets very represented with orderliness and cleanliness. That's not what OCD is, but this person could have suffered from OCD, and really being a pain around the neck. They had to have their things a certain way. If not, they would really throw tantrums, or they would do certain acts which would compel you to do things in their way. It's their way or highway. So it's much like Sheldon from the Big Bang Theory. Very hard to please, very hard to satisfy, that kind of personality who would go crazy over a millimeter difference, that kind of a personality. And this person is incompetent. Like, maybe they have a great career, they have a good reputation where they work, but in their private life, this person is so messed up to have their life in order. It becomes a pain and a constant source of irritation for whoever is living with this person. Cohabitation is a nightmare with this person. It's like they like to plan a lot, they think about the whole situation, they will plan on all night, and when suppose they have a presentation the next day, they will stay awake the entire night replaying and rehearsing every second of how the presentation is going to take place, but they might faint in the morning and pass out and not actually make it to the presentation. you know that kind of a person. Bundle of nerves, very nervous energy, dependent, a man baby, not even a man child. Now, this could be a woman you are asking for, so please switch it accordingly. It's gender neutral. I'm just using the popular terms here. Very childish personality. Okay. Okay, if this resonated even 50%, please do continue why you met this person, why this person, this X was in your life. Okay, group 3. Okay, either this person was extremely clean and organized and finicky about how things should be, or they were total shambles. Like, they couldn't even keep um, one thing in place. I think I forgot to mention that either they were too organized, planning too much, or they were totally bonkers about keeping things in their place. Very shabby person, disorganized, didn't know where they put their keys, don't know where their socks are, that kind of. So, either or, okay? Okay, so why did you meet your ex, group 3? Chariot. I had this card in group 1 as well. Okay. Temperance. I see why you met them. Ten of Cups. King of Wands. What's the Chariot here? Two of Cups. What's the Temperance? Empress. What's the Ten of Cups? King of Wands is the Queen of Swords. Group 3, this person is your ex because when you were this person, you had no idea about boundaries. You would let anyone and everyone have their way. And when it came to having your way, your well being, you always think about the well being of every person in the village or town, and then you kept yourself as the last person to be cared for. That is a foolproof way to exhausting yourself, burning yourself out as a human being. There was no balance. You didn't know how to receive. That's why there's a similarity with group 1 here. There was no balance here, group 1. Why would you entertain a childish person like this? Is because when you don't know your worth, you don't value your energy, your time, your emotions. You are the empress here, and you had no control over who is getting access to your valuable energy over here. You were a person who didn't know how to set boundaries. You were a person who, again, self-esteem issues, it also came up in group 1. You didn't have enough confidence to say no to a person. You were too scared to offend anybody. And yeah, you really didn't have a sense of worth over here. Right now you do, and that's why this person is your ex. Queen of Swords is also the Libra card. So yeah, if someone has to, right now you are in this energy group 3, that if a person, for many of you, I think group 3, you are a woman. So if a man has to pursue you, you really have your standards high this time. You are no longer wiping off the diapers of a man child. You make sure that this any person who wants a place in your life is eligible for the quality of um, connection you provide from your side. You were, again, you were, this is very similar to group 1. I think some of you could be from group 1 here. It's like, again, anxious attachment style. You didn't believe in giving things a bit of time, a bit of reflection to decide whether this person is worth investing, whether it's wise to be with such a person. And if this person was a life partner, you made a hasty decision here. You made a hasty, wrong decision in picking up the person to be the one person. It got really messed up with this person. You now understand how precious and valuable you are as a human, and at that time you simply trusted and said yes to everything. You thought you were giving love, you thought had the onus of balancing out everything in the connection. You had it on your shoulders, while the other person latched on, siphoning your energy, feeding on your love, while they were not even worthy of it. But they kind of also had this manipulative tendency, and you were gullible enough to be manipulated into doubting whether you thinking this person is wrong is your fault and not actually the truth about themselves. Okay, because I see there was a guilt tripping happening, gaslighting happening, where because you didn't have self esteem. So you could be guilt tripped very easily into believing that you're on the wrong. You are actually the person who is breaking apart this connection. It's like you had to do a tightrope walking for a long time. Look at this girl balancing the book and the the light bulbs. The birds are trying to tell her that this is not a smart thing to do, but she is going beyond her means until, yeah, I had perfect cards. Until you understood how ridiculous this thing is, how it's draining your energy, and it is really emotional abuse, micro cheating, if not a full fledged cheating, where you are at the losing end. You had completely lost yourself in this connection until you understood this can't work and you really embraced a life away from this hellfire. Right now, you're doing much better. You have discovered love within yourself and the happiness that involves in loving yourself, being with yourself, being your own light and not waiting for another person to throw light and show you the path. It's like you claim your own power right now. I'm gonna see from the other deck as well, like I did for the other groups. Why did group 3 meet this person? Why was this X? Yeah, why did they meet their X? Group 3's. It's like this person is really dumb, and you were also dumb enough to not understand your value, and you fell for their vices, fell for their stupidity or whatever. Like you are also equally at fault when you realize that you were also acting dumb in allowing this person to treat you like this. Now you see them as an utter disappointment and really ridiculous person. No one should have to put up with such a person in their life. What is, why did group 3 meet this? Why are they? Judgment. um, 5 of Cups. Oh, I have double 5 here. 5 of Swords. You see what I just said, um, the last thing I just said. We are also responsible for our own suffering, okay, group 3, and that's what you had to learn. You can't complain about a thief if you don't put a lock on your door. You need to know how to protect your house, otherwise, you are inviting every person, whether it's a thief or a good hearted person, into your house. You really didn't know how to protect yourself from people who leech your energy, who drain you. And the worst thing, you accepted this person as a stable romantic partner with the 2 of Cups and the Chariot here in the beginning of the reading. And there was a hasty judgment you made. What else? Judgment is justice. Yeah, you. 5 of Cups, the Hanged Man, and 5 of Swords is the Father of Wands. See, Father of Wands came up twice. Daughter of Cups. Um, Group 3, like I mentioned, a lot of women watching this group, at least, you guys have a father wound healing to do, masculine wound healing. When you assume the role of the masculine, you do not give space for the healthy masculine to come in, but a corrupted masculine, what happened in your life. And either ways, you have attracted masculine energies, even if you're a man watching, and this didn't match with your frequency. This didn't, or this didn't match with um, what you are supposed to be, because you were in the wrong vibration, you were in the wrong energy, which is why you attracted this kind of person. You were really attracting non-committal energy, non-committal masculine here, okay? And you had to go through this sadness, this pain, and you thought you had to endure because you have promised your life to this person to spend all your life. And this is where this this is where you had to learn to take a judgment call, that no, you don't have to put up with a terrible person all throughout your life, because such commitment should come from both ways, not only one way. Judgment and justice here. So right now you're, I would say for your group 3, your perception has gone through immense change. Your perspective towards how you see a relation should be, a partner should be. Also with this, you were willing to put up with manipulation and a lot of, I would say, BS over here in the name of love and commitment. And this is an illusion that had to really break down, okay? An illusion that had to go away. And if you did not meet this person, you wouldn't have realized what you were housing within yourself. We meet every person for a reason. Yeah. So, yeah, this person mirrored what you need to repair. And I'm sure, group 3, you have realized this. And this reading is a further clarification about the realization you're having now. And I really wish you that you heal through it, and I'm pretty sure you'll make through it. I can see that you already have that realization with the ace of swords here. You have realized it, and that is why this person is your ex, not your present, right? So this is where I'm going to close your reading, group 3. If you like the reading, do press the like button and post a comment letting me know how you like the reading. If you want a private reading with me, the details are given in the description box below, and you can reach out to me for private readings. If you don't want to miss out on my next reading on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to my channel so that yeah, I can again see you guys on my next video. If you want to get the benefit of daily readings, I post daily readings on Instagram and Threads. Links are given again in the description box. So I do a lot of things for this community I have. Make sure you make the best use of it. So apart from YouTube readings, you'll find shorter readings and daily tarot readings on my Instagram and Threads, along with spiritual insights which can help you out. So you can follow me everywhere. And thank you for being here. I'm gonna see you again in my next reading. Take care. Lots of love from my side. Bye.